You built the business, you hit the gym, you lead your family, but late at night, you're still struggling with porn. Brother, you've got the discipline, the mindset, the success, so why can't you quit? Because it's the very traits that make you a high performer are the same ones that are keeping you stuck. Guys, my name is Coach Frank Rich, founder of The Rebuilt Man, and today I'm exposing the 10 brutal truths that no one is talking about. If you're a high-performing man that is struggling with porn, this episode is going to be your wake-up call. But not just a wake-up call, an invitation to do what's right, to do what you know needs to be done, to find the freedom and success that you deserve in every facet and area of your life. Guys, my name is Coach Frank Rich, founder of The Rebuilt Man. It is our mission to help men become better men. If you are new to the podcast, make sure to hit that subscribe button. If you're watching us on YouTube, turn those post notifications on because we're dropping multiple episodes every single week. Guys, there's 10 lies, 10 reasons why successful, high-performing men stay stuck. And it starts with the fact, number one, that success masks your pain. Achievement can become the anesthesia. Men use success, chasing success, money, material status, wealth building, as a way to avoid addressing the bigger wounds and bigger pains in their lives. Trauma, rejection, father wounds, these are never dealt with because I'm doing fine. Look at my life. Look at what I built. Porn becomes an escape valve for unprocessed emotional wounds and pain. If I look back at my 20s and early 30s, I was winning in bodybuilding. I climbed the corporate ladder in corporate America. I launched into entrepreneurship and had a lot of success early on. And all those little wins were masked for the real pain that was going on and the real issues that I was hiding. I've seen it with pro athletes. I've seen it with entrepreneurs. I've seen it with investment bankers and Wall Street brokers. All these guys have on the outside what everybody would deem as the perfect life, yet they struggle to look inside because they're driven, and I get it. So number one is success is going to mask their pain. Number two, porn feels like a harmless outlet. The common rationalization, right? It's better than cheating. I'm not hurting anyone. It even can help me focus is sometimes what these men believe. What this lie does though is it keeps these men from recognizing that porn is a real spiritual and psychological drain on their lives. I know what it's like as higher performing men. We oftentimes will seek the low friction rewards in placement of stress. Stress from work, stress from life, stress from family, stress from employees can feel overwhelming, but sometimes these low friction rewards, a little bit of porn will alleviate. It's a pressure valve release, right? It feels harmless. And this is a lie that so many men believe. Number three is high performing and successful men are addicted to being in control. Whether it's in business, in fitness, in the family life, control equals power. But the problem is porn offers an illusion of total control over pleasure, fantasy, and the outcome. Guys, real intimacy requires surrender and not control. Real connection requires vulnerability, not power. Successful men are addicted to the control, and porn provides a place where they can always be in control. Number four is isolation to protect their image. They stay isolated because on the outside, everything appears good. High performers live with this pressure of having to look and show up perfectly. And to them, vulnerability feels like weakness, so there's no safe place to confess their struggles. But what we know is isolation breeds addiction. In the community, and having the right place to go is oftentimes the first step in breaking this cycle. But as a high performing man, it's hard to find the place where you can go. It's hard to find the person that can understand you. They don't have my life. They don't have my problems. How can they understand me? And as a high performing man, we can keep this inside and not feel like there's going to be anybody, because it's our job, our responsibility to be the rock, to be the leader. So we can't struggle, because if we struggle, that means the people that are following us, we're letting them down. And this keeps so many men stuck until they hit that rock bottom moment. The fifth thing here that keeps high performing men stuck in this cycle is they try to intellectualize their emotions. They're data-driven at work, data-driven in fitness. Give me a plan to follow and I know I can succeed. So what happens is high performers and high achieving men always analyze instead of feel. Why do I feel this becomes the loop instead of learning to sit in the discomfort. What we have to understand is emotional maturity is going to be the key to overcoming these urges. It's not just going to be more discipline. It's not just going to be more willpower. We have to get out of our mind and into our heart. Number 6 here is for these high-performing men, their hustle hides their emptiness. Constant movement, constant progress forward keeps us from noticing the internal voids. I can't be missing something. Look at where I'm going. Look at where I've been and look at the path that I'm on. Oftentimes, busyness and success becomes a badge of honor, but leaves no space for self-awareness. And at times, porn can become the reward for hustling hard. I remember one of the online fitness coaches that we worked with ran a very successful fitness business, 30, 40, 50K regularly per month. He trained himself that every time he closed a sale, his reward was a little bit of porn. He'd work, he'd grind 18 hours a day in the gym, in the business, constant go, 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 go. The only release valve, the only reward was a little bit of porn. So number 6 is they hide their emptiness in their work. Number 7, the 7th lie that keeps high-performing men addicted and stuck in this cycle is they're chasing perfectionism, and this keeps them silent. They believe if I admit this, I'm no longer the man I project myself to be. This creates a fear of losing respect, which equals silence, which equals the shame cycle continuing. We talked about this a couple points ago. In intellectualizing and staying isolated to protect the image. Perfectionism. I can't struggle with something. Look at who I am. Worked with a high-level athlete in professional baseball. Respected him so much because he was a young man looking for a way out of it. But he felt comfort and peace within me because we're trained in that area. We have a lot of experience of working with these high profile, and we know how to navigate those conversations. But for him, the biggest fear was his team, his fans, his city, knowing the truth about him. Oftentimes as high performing and high successful men, we have an image that we need to keep, and this can be a thorn in our image. So we got to get out of this place of perfectionism, realizing that freedom starts when men tell the truth. You got to find a place where you can have that real conversation. Number 8 here, the 8th reason that high-performing men stay stuck is their environment does not challenge him. You got no brotherhood? You got no accountability? It's easy to stay stuck, right? You're the leader. You got nobody holding you accountable. Most men's peer groups either normalize it or they just flat out avoid the conversation. Think about it. The last time you're sitting around with a group of men and the issue just came up. We'll talk about other problems. We'll talk about Bob down the street struggling with drinking. We'll talk about Steve is cheating on his wife, but we won't address this issue. It's so taboo. And the fact that 70% of men are struggling doesn't create an accountability-based environment where they can have those real conversations. Here's the truth, and you know this to be the fact because this is what got you to where you are. High-performing men need high-performance accountability. You are where you are in life right now because there were people holding you accountable to a higher standard back in the day. Now you reached that level of success and you dropped your standards. Now you need somebody to raise those standards up even higher for you. So high performance men need to put themselves in an environment and in around others that will hold them accountable and challenge them to be better. Number 9 here, the 9th reason is high performance men that are struggling haven't redefined masculinity. Many of us still equate manhood and masculinity to dominance, sex drive, and conquest, and those are integral parts of it. But porn feeds that old broken model. See, real masculinity, the redefining of masculinity leads with integrity, leads with self-control, leads with truth, leads with vision, leads with purpose. These things cannot be present in the place of porn. You can't walk in integrity and then behind closed doors masturbate to pornography. You can't have self-control and that every time you feel stressed, you release through masturbation. See, those two things are contradictory. So we got to redefine what masculinity and being a man means to us. And that's a challenge for most of you because it leads us to number 10, high performance men. They hold this fear of losing pleasure, right? If we gave up porn, what pleasure do we have in our lives? Because men link porn to release, excitement, and power. They think about quitting is going to be boredom or lack of that thrill. But here's the truth, man. You want to know what real pleasure is? It comes from purpose. It comes from presence. It comes from passion. It doesn't come from pixels. We got it out of this mindset that giving this up is a bad thing and we're losing out. Brother, you're losing out right now. So if you're a high-performing man, you got to know that if you're stuck, it's not because you're weak. It's because no one's taught you the truth. You've mastered so many areas of your life. Now it's time to master this one. The best in the world at specifically helping you. If you're the high-performing man, we've catered and crafted an environment, a curriculum that understands the high performer's mentality, understands the needs of a high performer, and we have the ability to call you and raise you up to a higher standard. Guys, if this resonated with you and you're looking for some help in this path, I'm going to drop down in the description box below a link to my personal booking application page. This one specifically is for the high performance men. And if you're asking what is a high performance man, it's probably not you. But I want to extend an invitation to book a link on my personal calendar. Fill the application out. Let's address this and let's get you the help and accountability that you know you ultimately need. Guys, it's linked down there below. Fill the application out. I look forward to seeing you on the inside. God bless you guys. We'll see you in the next one.